So, Coach, it's been fun. You know, we've shared the stage at a few different events and had the opportunity to connect backstage. And what's so fun about reading your most recent book is I've gotten to know you and your authenticity and the way that you've pulled this book through and who you are is the reason it's having so much success and making such a big impact. So, Coach, congrats. I know you wrote it to make an impact, so I'm excited to see that. I want to start where the book starts, which is North Philly. What part of that little girl, Dawn, still lives in you today? And what part of that little girl did you have to let go
Um, Great question. I think inside of me is always that little girl. Like I think I'm still shy. I think I would rather not be around people than to be with people or talk to people. I'd rather be just quiet, chill, simple life. And then the other part of me um, is I've grown up. Like I have opinions, I have experiences that have shaped who I am and what I like and what I don't like.
of? Yeah.
And now I have the voice to speak to those things that I like and I don't like.
Yeah.
And I think it comes
Yeah.
with age and experience and also not wanting to be taken advantage of. So
Mm-hmm.
it's helped guide me to who I am and getting to know who I am. Like a lot of people don't know who they are. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they don't like what they see or what they hear from themselves. For me,
Yeah.
growing up an introvert and shy and didn't talk a whole lot, it helped me. It helped me
Mm.
grow into reading the room a lot better. It helped me grow into listening to people, seeing how people operate, um,
Mm-hmm.
and just having some discernment about things. And I just really think if I was the opposite, like if I was probably more outgoing and
Mm-hmm.
outspoken, I don't think I would have stopped to listen and learn and understand.
Mm-hmm. And you had to let go of some of that little girl, right? Along the way. Tell me about that.
Well, letting go of that little girl just means you have to grow up.
Mm-hmm.
Like my neighborhood, my
Mm-hmm.
block, so to speak,
Yeah.
Philly, North Philly. Um, it's a training ground for whatever you're trying to accomplish. Like
Yeah.
seriously, like there are
Sure.
things that you learn from growing up in the projects that allow you to work through any challenge, be unbothered by any challenge, be unafraid to go into any challenge. So for me, I had to let that part go, that little girl
Mm-hmm.
go,
Mm-hmm.
and 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 deal with some real life stuff. And that forced you to talk a little bit. That
Yeah.
forces you to stick your nose in things that you probably would not have as a young as a little girl. I wouldn't for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm a leader. I'm a mentor. I'm an example of how I would want my players to navigate now that I'm a college coach, and I've
Mm-hmm.
always led with that. Like even even if I'm my most uncomfortable, if I know it's for someone else, I'm gonna brave through
Mm.
that discomfort because I know somebody else is going to be faced with the same difficulty in walking
Mm-hmm.
through their challenges.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love how you talk about your block. I love how you talk about your your childhood and how it has created you in the person that you are, and you're grateful for that. It's awesome. And you dedicated the book, Dawn, to your mom. You know, what's something that she saw in you before maybe even you saw it yourself?
Um, I I think my mother saw toughness. I think she saw. who she was. Like I always said that my mother has the strength of 10 men. Like literally,
Uh-huh.
figuratively,
Uh-huh.
emotionally, like she can take on much more. You know how they say some animals can take on much like 10, you know,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
10% more of their body weight
Uh-huh.
and all of
Uh-huh.
those things. Like my mother could take on so much more.
Wow.
And I do think she gave that not just to me, but to all of her children. The
Mm.
ability to be unafraid, the ability to be disciplined, the ability to fight when necessary, the ability to speak up when necessary, the
Mm-hmm.
ability to not allow anyone to tell you no. And
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, I am her. Like I am my mother's child, no matter how much.
Ah,
Like I didn't
I
like
love
my
that.
mother growing up. Like I didn't like my mother as a young person
Uh-huh.
because she was strict, right? She
Yeah.
was disciplined. She had rules
Yeah.
that you must follow. Like and and she held you to that. That was her daily standard for her kids.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And who who wants to live like that? Like seriously. But
Yeah. It's
but she
tough.
knew. Yeah, she knew that if she allowed her kids to stray this way or that way, that she might not be, you know, embracing them. She might
Mm-hmm.
not be talking to them. She might not be, you know, she might not be able to give lessons,
Mm-hmm.
to her kids if she let them go outside of what she felt like were her rules. So
Mm-hmm.
now I am her. Like I'm so much my mother's child that it's crazy to
Oh.
me to know that I'm her when I I wish not to be her when I was 18, 17
Yeah.
years old.
Yeah. And now she's threaded all through you. Well, and you talk about discipline and how it's almost so many people in the world, it's a difficult thing for people to lean into discipline, and it feels like pressure sometimes to people, but it's really a launching pad. It's a launching pad to choices and opportunities and success like you've had. When did you start to see discipline differently than that little girl whose mom was making sure you were doing everything sort of underneath that strict watch?
Um, I I I probably saw discipline a little bit differently when I went to college.
Okay. Yeah.
And I mean it happened probably more so in the classroom because I wasn't
Mm,
good and I wasn't a good academic person.
mm,
Um, one because it was a challenge and
mm-hmm,
it was outside the rim of basketball.
mm,
So within basketball, I understood that you got to work out. I understood that you got to get in shape and, all of those, things that you must
sure,
do.
sure.
But in the classroom, I was like, this is hard. Like I couldn't see, like as an athlete, when you're not, when you don't make your shots, then you got to go in and get in the gym and you got to put some
Uh-huh,
work in,
sure.
In
Yeah.
academics, I'm like, where do I go?
Right, because you were ready to go to the gym and get up the extra shots,
Yeah.
right?
But
Right.
I wasn't ready to go ask somebody for help because I was used to doing things on my own. And now
Mm,
I'm in a situation where I need outside help. And so I started to have to be disciplined to that in
mm,
order, and then I started to utilize the same type of work ethic that I was doing on the court in the
okay.
classroom. Like
Sure.
I looked at all of my all of my classmates as the opposition. Like I gotta get a better grade than them.
Oh gosh.
So
Uh-huh.
the preparation of I gotta if I have to study, you know, 10 times more than the person that's sitting to my right and left,
Yeah.
then I gotta do that.
Yeah.
If I need to go to a tutor, then so it was all like scouting report. Like I had to do a scouting report on myself as an academic
Wow.
being,
Yeah.
and once you once you pull back all those layers of you're not taking advantage of all these resources. And because you're not doing that, you're not very good. So I
Yeah.
equated that to being a scrub and coming off the bench and being deep, like deep buried at the end of the bench.
Yeah.
And then I just started
Wow.
applying those things, and it really, really worked.
Well, you shifted your mindset fundamentally, didn't you? I mean, you shifted how do you take that at some level and help your players buy into this mindset that discipline is in fact an opportunity to create freedom for themselves?
I would say young people have a lot of stamina for doing not the right thing. Like they do. I mean, because they haven't been corrected. So they think what they're doing is the right thing. And some of it is helpful to them. We have to get them to recognize what's hurtful to them and what is forcing them not to have the breakthroughs that they need. And it's just constant reminders. Like and I mentioned this earlier with my mother held me to a daily standard.
Yeah.
Like held me. I mean, forced me, threatened me, whatever it was. Right. She did that.
Yeah.
For me as a coach, I hold young people to their daily standards. And that is when they think they're working hard, come here.
Right.
Let me show you because the video doesn't lie. And then when they are living out their true daily standard, and I said, this is what it feels like. Like, what are you feeling right now? Yeah. This is your daily standard.
Yeah.
If you don't feel like this every day, every play, then you're playing below it.
And so with the daily standard, Dawn, is that like, do you sit with each player, identify the outputs they want for the year, and then identify the daily behaviors that then become the daily standards that you can help support them in living out?
Yes. I mean, it is like, I would say this, for lack of a better a better story. Like when I got my boy Champ, my dog, Champ Staley, right?
I've met that little
right?
bugger. Oh yeah.
If I allowed Champ to keep his puppy ways, to potty in the house everywhere, to do what he wants to do, like there's no discipline in that.
Right.
So we wouldn't work well together.
Right.
Because I don't want to run around and clean up poop
right.
all day, right?
Sure.
I don't want him chasing after every dog that he sees, right? I don't want him to think he can demand treats from me by barking at me. Like,
yeah, not going to happen.
Right. So fortunately for me, my college coach, Debbie Ryan, she sent, like for a year, monthly bark boxes. Oh. And within those bark boxes, they tell you exactly what your dog needs to know at this stage of their life. First month, second month, third month, all the way up. And I went word for word.
Wow.
And taught him, because I never knew how to
train a dog. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, totally.
So step by step, I did this every month. And now we're livable. So we got a daily standard. Champ and I, both of us. He's got one, I got one, and we coexist with it because I hold him to that.
Yeah.
Well, he also holds me to taking him out. I gotta see the signs. When he jumps up on my leg and bites me a little bit, that means he's got to go to the restroom. He's got to go potty. I got to listen to those signs. So he just looked at me because he's sitting right there.
Yeah, I love it.
So it's with each and every player.
Yeah.
Their daily standards vary depending on who they are and what they do. And, somebody's daily standard might be to get out the gym.
Yeah.
Because they're obsessed.
Yep. They got to get a little
rare.
Right.
Rare,
right. It's interesting because I kind of want to go back. I mean, obviously, you sort of said that you were quiet, and you are. I mean, I see that in you too. But you have clearly learned how to lead and for people to follow, to step into and live into your daily standard. What makes your style of leadership work so well, Dawn? Because it's deeper and wider than just what you've unpacked, but what has made it work? Because you are who you are as a quieter person, but your style of leadership clearly works. I'm just curious.
Well, one, an inclusive leader.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind including everybody that has a say in our players' lives. If you have her ear, if you have her heart, if you have her attention, then we all need to sit down and talk.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
of us, whether it's
Yeah.
parents,
Yeah.
boyfriends, girlfriends, trainers, whatever. If my player feels like at any given time they're listening to you, then we need to all be in the same room because we all want the same thing,
Yeah.
all of it.
Yeah.
So that's one.
Yeah.
Um,
I love it.
and you also open yourself up to having to you have to have your conversations with each and every person
Yeah.
at any given time. Which bottom line is, I'm for I'm a dream merchant, so I need our players to check off whatever dreams that they have in life, and by doing that,
Love that.
you got to formulate some discipline and some pro habits and some habits that can only help you.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, no, the trainer, the parents, the boyfriend, girlfriend,
Yeah.
they haven't been to where you're trying to go.
Right.
I think our staff
Yeah.
has,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you also have to know that they're more involved in in my players' lives. They have so much more. And then for me, I lead from a look, sound, and feel. If something looks, sounds, or feels off, then I'm addressing it. If it looks, sounds, or feels good, I'm promoting and encouraging it.
Love it. So good. So good. You know, Don, you write about achieving, obviously, your dream, Olympic gold medal, unbelievable, but then feeling empty afterwards. What did that moment teach you about success and what it can't give you?
Well, I mean, what it taught me was I worked extremely hard to check off one of my lifelong dreams at an early age, right?
Yeah, totally.
26 is early.
Yeah, for sure.
And no one tells you what it's supposed to feel like when you accomplish something as big as that, and no one tells you what it shouldn't feel like, right?
Yeah, you're right, totally.
And then, you know, what it really taught me was, sometimes you got to be still. Sometimes you got to listen to your body and listen to your mind, because that's what it was telling me to do, which was totally like I've never experienced anything like it. And since at that time, I've never not wanted to be a part of basketball.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I never wanted to jump off the wagon, like never.
yeah.
But when I look back on it, because mental health is so prevalent in young people on campuses, so I know what that looked like. Like I know what I see all the signs of. You know, I was kind of depressed because I didn't know what to do, what was next, because I got my lifelong dream. What else is there?
Yep. Yep. No, I think that's so interesting because I always think that if you are totally laser focused on a single moment in time and an outcome versus this daily pursuit of better every day with discipline, as you talk about, then when you get there, you're not really sure what to do next because it's been this, right? It's been this laser focus. Tell me this, what do most people get wrong about what it really takes to win?
Well, what most people get wrong is it's not about like the right now.
Mm-hmm.
It is it is it's layers to success.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it's layers to the preparation of success. It's not when like again working with young people, they think when they put a string of a week together, then they've made it. They've arrived. And they think they're supposed to get something.
Wow.
They
Wow.
think they're supposed to get what they're supposed to
Yep.
get when they've made their mind up to do
Yeah.
this, right?
Right. Right.
They don't think about the times before they made their mind up
Yeah.
because that's actually who you are.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of what you've done, that's who you are. Now this
Mm-hmm.
week is not the week is good, don't get me wrong. But until you can you're able to work in a good,
Mm-hmm.
positive, productive space for a longer period of time and
Mm-hmm.
create that being who you are, that's when the success will come.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't mean you're not going to experience any failures. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's failures. Like failures are the thing that really drive us.
For sure.
It
For
should
sure.
anyway. It should.
Yeah. We us.
Like I like we've won national championships, but I feel the ones that we lost much more.
Yeah. It's
Like
amazing.
it's a much more of a driver to me when
Mm-hmm.
we've lost than when we've won.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the
Mm-hmm.
craziest dynamic, but I do think that the people who really want to be successful are driven by their failures.
Mm-hmm. And closing that gap from the failure to the what and
Yes.
who they want to become most. So, Coach, one last question. I mean, this is such a special book. It is. You poured into this book. There's no doubt about it. Uncommon favor. What is that phrase? What does that phrase, Coach? What does that mean to you?
Uncommon favor. Um, I talked about uncommon favor after we won the championship last year and we were undefeated. Like I mean, we took the unlikeliest team um, to have an undefeated season when we've
Yep.
had plenty of great teams, but
Sure.
none that came in with such the unknowns,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep. Yep.
And and to piggyback from a season in which the year before we lost an undefeated season in the Final Four against Iowa. That really broke me. Like it broke me, not because of me,
Mm-hmm.
because of the players that made up our team. They were just such great people, such great players.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't complain. Did everything that we asked them to do. They didn't end their careers on a winning note. Um, so I was rocked by that, and
Mm-hmm.
then come back the following season and win. And I'm a faithful,
Yep.
I'm a praying woman,
Yep.
and when we did that, it immediately erased what I felt the year before.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in a way that I mean strengthened my faith. Because
Mm.
every year I don't go in like praying for a national championship. Like
Right.
I
Right.
pray, I pray to have young people be productive,
Mm-hmm.
gain habits that they'll need for the rest of their lives. And if you win, within
Sure.
that, great.
Yep.
And I didn't ask to win a national championship last year.
Yep.
So when it happened,
Mm-hmm.
Holly Rowe stuck a mic in my face, and I'm
I
like
love her. Yep.
crying and
Right.
and asked me what it means, and I'm like, it's God's uncommon favor.
Mm.
Like
Yep.
like and what it means is God saying I can show you
Mm-hmm.
better than I can tell you.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
you could have been in despair last year. You lost, right? You could have
Right. Sure.
forsaken me. You
Yep.
could have done all turn your back on me, but
Mm-hmm.
yet you chose to be thankful in victory and defeat.
Mm.
And because of that,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you a little bit more of this uncommon favor.
Mm.
So it comes from a spiritual place
Mm-hmm.
that defines my career. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I'm from the projects in North Philly.
Yeah.
and the amount of successes and
Yeah.
accolades that I've gotten in my career, it's really not supposed to be. It really isn't. Like, why? I mean, obviously, there's favor on my life because I've worked hard. You know,
Sure.
I've prepared for moments, but
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
everybody does, but they don't get the fruitfulness of what I've gotten.
uncommon favor. Well, and it's so fitting that you dedicated the book to your mom, right? And the discipline that she poured into you. Coach, this book is making, you wrote it to make an impact on people's lives, to change people's lives, and it already is. It already is. It's awesome. Coach, thank you so much. Congrats on the success of the book so far. I love you to pieces. It's so good to see you. Thanks for the lives that you impact. You're so special.
Thank you, Molly. Thank you. I appreciate you.